Hey everybody, welcome to Nerds Garage New Game Mondays.
I'm Suzanne.
I'm Derek, and today we are here to talk to you about a really cool game called Thalara by Wordspiel. It's a German company, and right off the bat, one of the coolest things about this game is that it's printed the informational cards and other things are printed both in English and in German, which is really great because I can look at the German side and remembering my high school German class, it really looks cool, but it still doesn't help me because I just can't remember that
Oh,
much.
you're not going to let the world know that.
Yes, my mother is German, and
And
I
your
can,
Oma came to visit every summer.
and my Oma came to visit every summer, and I can kind of look at the cards and read them and think that I know what's going on, and then I have absolutely no idea because I have not kept up with my German and my German heritage. So
I have some German heritage, but I took French.
we're not all perfect.
Parlez-vous français? Un petit? All right.
Cheers.
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 All right. The world of Thalara. The magic is dwindling.
The magic is dwindling.
It's been stolen, and it's up to the players to use their spells and their energy to get remnants to bring life back
and get artifacts and the remnants
to bring it all back and save the world.
You got to bring the magic back to Thalara and save it by acquiring all these pieces, which is really cool.
Quick note, doing a little research. First card game ever noted was during the Tang Dynasty.
Tang Dynasty. Wow.
I think it was a while ago. Little time back.
Yeah, it's like before. It was a while ago.
Yeah. All right, so card games have evolved immensely into many iterations, and along the lines of magic and what's the other one?
Deck building.
Deck building,
yeah.
They've really grown, and this, though, may look like just an average game of a magic card game, but it is layered with so much more.
It's got so many layers. It's really cool. You start with everybody has a basic hand, a basic deck that is the same, contains the same valued cards, powered cards, energy cards, and they have different energy numbers from 0 to 5.
And colors that are important.
And the colors are very important. So that's what your base hand is.
Your deck is, that's it. That's your deck that you draw from.
And then when a round plays out, there's a random distribution of artifact cards that look similar to your cards in your hand. They're the same colors and they have power. They have energy levels, but they're permanent cards. They're artifacts.
And they have the little.
So they got the little stars on them, diamonds.
They are the victory points that will be added up at the end.
Ultimately, at the end of the game, you're trying to acquire the most victory points, and you get those from these cards that you battle for each hand. So you lay cards down, trying to have the most points in each conflict zone. Each conflict zone is one of these cards, and you have certain powers that you can use at your disposal.
You pick a character who has a set of 4 spells.
Yes.
You
can use
in the
each
regular
round.
level.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, they're very diverse.
Very much.
But very balanced.
Well, yeah, it's of the choices that you have, they each have different personalities, so to speak, or strengths, and it depends on your playing style, maybe which one's your favorite. But they change how you play depending on which character you're playing. To ultimately, you're trying to win these in each round. So you have you want to get the most points in a conflict in a round, and they can boost your points. They can take away the other player's points. The spell cards can.
Well, let's talk about the unique mechanism. Once you win a artifact or a remnant, it stays permanently in your hand, and they are the black cards.
Yeah, so you get these if you acquire one of these by having the most points in the hand, then you'll keep this the one powered at two level energy card that stays in your hand permanently. So you permanently have an orange card in your hand that's actually a 2 value, which comes in handy because then you don't have to worry about expending your orange cards because you always have one come back to your hand.
It's funny that you call it handy because I found it tricky because you need certain colored energy cards to use your spells, and if you don't use strategy and think ahead, go for the cards that match because you have a limited amount of a deck.
If you use up too many of a certain color card, you won't have that spell available to you later in the game because you don't have any orange cards left or any green cards left that are required for that spell. So when I play, I'm looking ahead and I'm trying to win the most important card color to me, as well as get a card that's got higher point value. But we all play differently.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out.
It gets very complicated very quickly in a good way. It makes your mind think. You got to think several moves ahead. I really enjoy that aspect of it. That it's not just a card game where you're playing for this hand. You're playing for 4 hands ahead because you want to make sure you have certain cards in 4 hands.
Exactly, because when you play a card, they're out.
Right. A normal card that is not an artifact, a normal energy card is one and done. And so your stack, your starting hand, or your starting stockpile, when it's depleted, that's actually when the game ends, is when the first person can't replenish their hand up to 7 at the end of a round.
Or you have 7 artifacts.
Right, or you have 7 artifacts. But either way, you're playing towards the end of the game and making sure you have your spells available to you. So
and it's funny, the more people we played, some people, like I do, I played the lower cards first and saved the higher cards for later. And I saw you played a mixed bag. You did a little of both each time, so you'd still have at the end.
And one of the things, of course, you play to the people you're playing with, and so I know that one of her things is that she likes to save the higher power cards for later. So I might start a game with playing some high cards just to see if she's playing that way this time, and sure enough, I'd win the first hand, but then I'd lose the next 3. There's that. But it's interesting. So you're playing with 4 people, it gets much more complicated. It's diverse. It's fast moving. With 4 people, you think the game might slow down, and actually, to me, it's faster because
it was nuts.
People are just there.
It was
boom,
nuts.
boom, boom.
Yeah, that's what it said in the rules. That it's a very challenging game of 2.
Yeah.
But when you get up to 4, there's mayhem, and this is true because there's so much to watch. Because we're all going for the same artifact cards.
I really enjoyed our 4-player games because you just. It's a whole different game with 4 people rather than with 2 people. Not in terms of the gameplay, but in terms of the strategy that you have to use. The strategies that you have to use with 2 people is way different than with 4, and it makes it tons of fun. Totally fun. Yeah.
All right, so this is we just played a game. So these were the cards, the artifacts, the remnants that were dealt out, and this was us playing our rounds. So he plays his cards over there. I play my cards over here. And when I played a spell, I laid it in line for which conflict. Like this one was, any player that does not have a green energy card in this conflict is -5.
Which, I'll just say, I had used my only green card that was in my hand that round, the previous turn. So I really needed this orange card. So I then put my eggs into this basket.
A ton of cards.
Most of which I could get back. I needed that orange card, and I actually did get it at the sacrifice of some cards, but I had planned on spending those cards that turn anyway, so I got what I needed. I didn't get what I wanted. What I wanted was more points.
This one was only worth 1 point. I was wondering why you were all in. Now I understand. I thought you just wanted that one. So this one is gain +2 strength in each conflict where you have at least 2 energy cards of the same color.
I hate that card. I mean, it's a cool card.
It is cool. I only usually remember it. For the first, I didn't have enough cards in my deck to utilize it twice. So each we take a turn going back and forth, and then you either run out of cards or you say pass.
Right.
And then whoever has the most in each conflict wins the artifact.
Right, for that. And then you replenish your hand. Any cards you didn't use or any of your artifacts, you can stay in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also draw from what's left in your deck to build a new 7-card hand for the next round. And it's really fun, complicated to me.
It was challenging. Yeah. It was very fresh, fast paced. Well, unless I overanalyzed what I was gonna do.
But what makes it also fun, because at Nerd's Garage we love the art of games.
Oh yes,
I was really drawn to this card game because of the art. The card art is fascinating. It's very detailed.
There's backstories and there's little quotes on each one that are delightful.
Oh yeah, there's quote information. There's stuff that's not necessarily pertinent to the nuts and bolts of playing the game, but it makes it way more interesting and exciting.
It helps you understand their spells. If
you incorporate that language and the quotes and the art really draws you in, makes it a dynamic piece of work to play. It's not just your average card game.
And the unique mechanic that you're locked in. When you win something, it's locked into your hands.
They stay in your hand.
That's another level of strategy. All right, so this was the base people you could play.
Right.
The spells, and it came with 2 advanced characters.
Right.
That had traps and extra crystal energies.
Different things that then off the base game then make it even more dynamic and more complicated, where you're drawing energy from the different energy cards that are played. And
so you not only had your energy, you also had traps.
Right, the trap cards were fun. A trap card, you could play that, and say I played the shadow trap that destroyed the opponent's played energy card. So she plays a 3-power orange card, 3 energy card, and I don't have enough energy to counterattack that, but I do have this trap spell. So I'm going to try using my trap spell, destroy the opponent's played energy card, and so then to counter that, or to try and counter that, you have to play the next time you play a card, right? If you play the same color that I played, then my trap is negated.
That's right. The traps go upside down. Where's the traps? So the traps are blind.
Right. So if I played a blue card with my trap
down.
If I play a blue card with my trap, but she can't see it, then if her next card is a blue card, the trap doesn't work.
So when I play a card, it activates the trap, and then you turn it over and see.
Right.
If it's not that color,
if
activated.
If she has played the same color, the trap doesn't work. It's not activated.
I've disabled it.
Yes. If she plays a different color, then my trap works, and I get rid of her played card, and I hopefully get what I want.
That's very intense. All right, so that pretty girl.
This is not finalized art, though, this one. But she's the one with the crystals.
Yeah, when you play, is that a nest?
Yes, you play
You have a bank. You have a bank where you can bank crystal for every turn.
Right. And you get extra points, or it works towards your power and your energy in one of your hands. It's another level of dynamic that makes it level up, basically. You're leveling up your play.
I get the name right.
Okay,
so the higher powered are, I can't read that.
Right.
Inez and Melina, I think.
It's not on the card, so I don't know.
They are.
Okay.
I just can't read it.
Sure.
All right, so the rule book said to get used to the game and play with the starter characters and spells before jumping into that, and that's totally founded.
Totally makes total sense.
Yeah.
Because after we played 4 or 5 games with the base cards, we learn more of we might have been playing that not quite right. So once you're smooth and fluid with it and you're getting your strategies down, then you throw in 1 or 2 of these extra level shadow spells or traps or crystals. It draws you in even more. It's really, really, really interesting.
And there was a couple times I was like, sometimes we interpret rules differently, and
No, we don't.
all right, you're right, I'm wrong. But
No, you're wrong.
we were able to
That's right.
instantly
Yeah. Okay.
contact the designer,
Oh, yeah.
and he explained it to me, and I'm like, "Are you sure?"
No, they were they're very
He was
friendly
right
and
on it,
very
yeah.
helpful. It was really a fun game to test out, to play, and I want to get it.
I know the art is beautiful,
Yeah.
and the even though every ability is very diverse, you missed in a lot of play testing. It is very fair. It's a very
Yes.
fair game because we
I
played
mean,
all the characters.
I mean, if you look once you get more familiar with them, you see like, okay, so this guy he's all about crushing his enemy, and this one's all about taking care of their enemy.
Yeah.
And so if you play to their strengths, you have a better chance. If you just play to use their spells, it's a whole lot of fun, but it's a different game. You need to sort of change your strategy depending on what character you get, which I thought was really neat.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's very well thought out, and it was very strategy and competitive, and obviously travels well.
Oh, it's a great travel game, yeah.
And a good game to play. I mean, it's not a simple game, just to dig in and take half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't take much to get the hang of play.
Yeah.
And then we were playing really quickly, and then as I said, we played 4 or 5 rounds or 5 games, and as we played, we really got the hang of it. So it's a good family game. It's a good group game.
Yeah.
Have some people over and throw this new game at them. It's not a stretch to get a bunch of new people playing it. It's really worth it.
And it's on Kickstarter right now.
Right now.
And it's Thalara.
Thalara.
And what's the name of the company?
The name of the company is
because you can read German.
In my German, it's Wordspiel.
Wordspiel.
WREDESPIELE. Wordspiel.
And we'll put it below here as
well.
well.
It'll be on the next thing. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Thalara.com is their thing.
And I'll put the link to the Kickstarter. Check them out. It's very unique for all the card games we've been playing lately. This was very enjoyable.
This was enjoyable. And again, check it out. They're on Kickstarter right now. And we appreciate your coming in to hang out with us and see what we're talking about. And today we were talking about Thalara, and who knows what's next. But again, thank you so much for coming in, and we'll see you next time.